Hello YouTube. This is Dutch Bushcraft Knives and I am Mikkie B.
And I'm Maarten.
I'm back again for my personal top 5 knives because Maarten just did his one a few days ago. So I haven't really thought about what my top 5 is going to be, so I'm just going to introduce you to a few of my favorite knives. First of all, my first bushcraft knife was a F1 Valknieven. On which place was the F1 on your list?
I think mine was on the 5th place.
5th place. I don't know on what place this is going to be yet, but so because this is my first knife, I've got a lot of emotional value with or emotional bonding with this knife. It's going to get a high rank. I mean, it holds a good edge, not as well as 3V of course, because yeah, I don't know. It's just yeah, it's just I don't know. It's not, you don't buy the knife. VG10 hasn't got as good of a edge holding as 3V,
but very easy to sharpen.
Very easy to sharpen.
And carefree.
And carefree. Well, I've got one. It's not my most expensive knife, but it might be one of my favorite knives. It's very dirty. It's very dirty. It's my Mora. What's it? Mora Companion. Yeah, it used to be called a Clipper. That's what I was thinking. But it's 12C27 steel, and then it's kind of my go-to knife if I need a knife for smaller chores or whatever. Then I always get this one because I can really use it for everything, and I don't need to be careful if it gets damaged or whatever. Even though all the knives won't really get damaged. And my third knife that I really like is my Enzo Trapper, and I don't know, I've used it a lot. The only downside of it is that it rusts really quickly because it's 01 steel, and it's got a handle. The handle is made out of curly birch, so that isn't really survival friendly. But for bushcraft, this is a really good knife. You can sharpen it really easily, and it gets a really nice edge. And I think probably because you can restore the edge so well, it gets a really high ranking in my list.
And you made some kind of modification.
I made a modification. I don't know if you can see it on the camera. It's now this is now much higher. The grind is much higher than it normally was. So now it's kind of a Scandivex, and not kind of, it is a Scandivex, because that's my favorite edge.
Well, it's even leaning more towards complete convex,
yeah,
like Bug River.
Yeah, because if you've seen Maarten's new knife, the Valknieven F1 Pro, is it called? Yeah.
Yes.
It's also got a high grind, a little bit higher than this, but it's kind of tending to go towards that high grind. So it's one of my favorite grinds. Then. Got a nice knife over here. It's my Gunny Elmax. It's one of my newest knives, and it's got a great edge holding. Toughness, yeah, even in toughness it's quite well, but this is just a kind of a small knife, even compared to all the other knives. Yeah, I mean, this looks the same, but if you would put on with such a small knife, you would rather choose the F1 over the Elmax Gunny, because I don't know, it's just not really a fat knife. It's not really big. Yeah, it's got a wooden handle, but the edge holding is great, fantastic. Did you have this in your top 5?
Yes,
as well, Maarten?
Of course.
What was it ranked?
I think it was 3rd.
Really?
Yeah.
What was first? The
My A1, yes.
Oh yeah. I used to have an A1, and then I chopped into my hand. You see this scarf? Yeah, that was a good times. I sold it. Anyway, this is a really special knife for me. As you can see, almost all my knives are smaller knives because I like them, because I like the smaller chores. But I'll tell you a little more about the knives in a bit in detail. I'll go into detail in them. But this is my Bug River CPM 3V Scandivex knife. It's so beautiful. I don't know if you can see, but it's got red line in here. And yeah, since I chopped into my hand, I've got these on a lot of my knives. Because the way I chopped into my hand was that it slipped out of my hand. So it's kind of good to have a paracord attached to the back of your knife, because you can stick your hand through it. And yeah, Martin will make a video about that as well. How you make this, by the way. Good video.
Yeah.
Anyway, the geometry of the handle is really nice in my hand, so I can hold it really tightly and I can work really hard with this. And even the chopping power with this knife is kind of high for the size, because I can put my hand through this paracord and I can just chop away. Anyway, because it's CPM 3V and it's probably still up to now my favorite steel. I haven't tried out the new COS steel that Martin's got on his Falcon Even, which I'm very curious to know about what the results are going to be. Anyway, but this knife, yeah, it's a little hard to sharpen because it's kind of a really hard steel, really tough steel. It's 60 HRC, I think. 60?
Yeah, 60 to 61.
60 to 61, yeah, unbelievable. Oh. And yeah, of course I've got a few bigger knives, and let me just not forget this knife, Victorinox. It was my first knife when I was 8 years old. Like I've got a few more knives. I'll just show you one of them that might be my favorite one day. It's the Bushcrafter. But just because I haven't got the chance to try it out a lot, I can't really say something about it. But it's also CPM 3V, so I think it's got a lot in common with the 3V Scandivex knife. Yeah, so there I've got a few more knives, but these ones were my favorite knives. Now I'm going to rank them in a top 5. So okay, so I'll just align my knives here a little bit. Anyway, on the 5th place is going to be my Mora Companion, just because it's good in what it needs to do, and I use it as a kind of a throwaway knife, but I won't throw it away because it means something to me and it still does what it does, so waste of money. So I'm going to put this is going to be my last place.
And you also made a Scandivex to...
I also made it, yeah. I also made a Scandivex. So this one, but not really a Scandivex, this is kind of almost completely convex right now, because this, yeah, you can't really see it, but this is, there's no border anymore. Anyway, so this is going to be my 5th place. I'll put it like this. My 5th place. My fourth place is going to be my what's it called?
Gunny Elmex.
Gunny Elmex. Just because I haven't worked with it a lot, and it does what it needs to do, but yeah, I don't know. It's just I haven't got an emotional bonding with it yet as much as I got with the other knives. It holds a fantastic edge. It's kind of easy to sharpen as well. Baton's quite okay. It's got a nice, I made a nice fine steel edge on it as well at the back. And yeah, it does what it needs to do, but yeah.
And what I personally have with that knife, because I also have it in the Desert Ironwood, is that the Desert Ironwood actually prevents me from using it too hard.
Yeah.
And I kind of regret not buying the micarta or G10.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and another reason that this one isn't my favorite knife is because of the handle isn't that thick. So it's kind of a thin handle. And so when you're working a long time with it, I mean, it won't really ache, but a thicker handle will be more comfortable.
Yeah, I think you should...
Comfortable.
You should go with the gunny with liners.
Yeah, that's. I think that's the best. I think my 3rd place is going to be my Enzo Trapper, because it does what it needs to do really well. It makes great feather sticks, like absolutely unbelievable. But with batoning, which this knife isn't really made for, but with batoning, it kind of sometimes can hurt in your hand, because somehow the edges are kind of, how would you say that? Rough or whatever. So you won't really get blisters, but it can start to ache in your hand, and it rusts quite fast. And in nature, when it's a wet climate, it can kind of damage the knife. But nevertheless, the steel is one of my favorite steels. If you maintain it well with fat, or you give it some oil or whatever, and it's really easy to resharpen, so you can really abuse the knife and then fix it in a really short period of time.
So not really a survival knife, but
not really a survival knife. So maybe it should be on fourth place. But I'm putting it in third place because I've worked with this knife a lot more than with the Gunny Elmax, and it's earned my respect. So in second place is going to be my Falkneven F1 VG10 steel. I can't say I'm in love with it, but I just really love it because you can really abuse it and then resharpen it in quite fast, but it will still keep an edge for really long. So it won't really chip, or it won't really, how would you say that?
Roll?
Roll, yeah, it won't really roll. The thing I really like about this knife is also the handle. It never feels slippery in your hand, it never really feels cold or really hot in your hand. So somehow this handle also doesn't really hurt in your hand. Although a lot of people say the geometry or whatever in this knife really isn't good, but you can get all the grips right in this knife, and it will, even side holding, it will all feel really good. And it's one of my first knives which I experimented with, and I learned the bushcraft life, all the bushcraft skills. Yeah. The only thing they really did improve with the F1 Pro is that they made an iron or steel front here, because then this won't damage, which sometimes will happen if you start batoning with this knife, which isn't a problem, but yeah, just for the aesthetics is better. And this knife, the Gunny 3V Scannivex, is probably my favorite knife because it can do everything, and it's kind of a heavy knife, but the geometry, how it fits in your hand, is absolutely perfect in my opinion. The fire steel, I made an adjustment on the back, and now it can handle fire steels excellently. It keeps an edge for like forever. So up to now, that is my favorite steel because I don't really mind sharpening knives, so it's not really a problem for me. But just you can even strop this knife, and it will shave again. Like, doesn't matter if you put on how many pieces of wood, if you sharpen how many pieces of wood, it won't matter because it still will be able to shave. And because of the weight, and you put your hand through it like this, you can even chop if you're careful. You can even chop with this knife, and you can chop off sticks which are probably about an inch wide or whatever. So I'm really in love with this knife.
Yeah, I have to agree with you on this one.
Yeah.
And this knife probably has the best ergonomics of all our knives.
Yeah.
This handle is absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
This is
with the red lining. Oh.
Yeah, lining micarta with red liners.
Yeah. And let me just add to that, because this is micarta, so this isn't a natural. Hoe zeg je dat?
Natural material.
Yeah.
Material.
Because this isn't really a natural material, it won't have any effect in wet or dense forests or weather or whatever. So you can use this in the most extreme weathers, and because the steel also won't really rust that fast, you can use it in all the circumstances. So this knife will always save you, and I will absolutely trust my whole life to this knife in life-threatening situations, and even with bushcraft tasks, it excels all the other knives. So this is probably my favorite knife, Scannivex, perfectly. And let me tell you a little bit about the sheet. This is my favorite sheet. I think Marta has the same sheet, exactly the same sheet, but wow, made this one myself. We'll maybe start making one of these for more people. Good fire steel. Anyway, the sheath is perfect because all the knives, you can use it for a lot of knives, and the leather will just form to the handle of the knife, and it's perfectly made. I love the aesthetics of this. It's got kind of an old Indian type of look or whatever. It's got a little fire steel loop. It fits perfectly around around your belt, and it won't trouble you at all. This sheath, however, is also one of my favorite sheaths. Not a lot of people like this sheath because of the aesthetics, but I don't know. Because of the material, it cannot. I mean, because the knife is suitable for survival as a survival knife as well. The sheath absolutely fits with the knife as well. So you can use it in every weather circumstances, and it won't trouble it at all. And it's just perfect. But aesthetically, it's not that nice. Anyway, just to finish the video off, this is my first Bug River. It's a Bug River gunny with a 19C27 steel, and the steel is quite soft. It's not much left of the knife.
It's a bit like a stainless version of the A2.
Yeah. It's really small, like a really cute small knife, and the handle is much too thin to really work hard with it, but just, I don't know, I really like the wood. It's a cute, somehow me and Marta have fallen in love with this knife for what it is, and the steel is quite soft, but it's excellent to sharpen it or whatever, I don't know. It's got some magic over it. Have you got something to add to that, Marta, with this knife?
Well, I think it's a kind of special knife because Bug River isn't really using this steel anymore.
No.
And this is a first production run, and I think it's from an old batch or something. But yeah, I think it's really hard to get a knife like that. And the wood is lignum white.
Yeah.
I think
you won't really see that wood a lot anymore. Anyway, Bug River doesn't make this knife anymore, so it makes it a little bit more special. And let me just tell you that this is also a first production run knife, and this is also a first production run knife. So that's a little extra. These were my top 5 survival knives. Gunny 3V, Scannivex, Fogneven F1, Enzo Trapper 01 steel, Gunny LMAX, and Mora Companion. So thank you very much, and see you later.
Let me add one more thing. The funny thing was we both got the Gunny the Enzo Trappers at the same time, and we ordered them at the same time. So when they came in, we just randomly picked one, and of course Mikkie got the nicest handle. So let me just show you this handle, because I think it's a very lovely curly birch. And mine is kind of plain looking, but yeah, I was always a bit jealous at his handle. It's very nice. So yeah, thank you guys for watching,
and see you later.